The way you want your weekend to go, huh?
No, but I have a silver lining. I'm
Okay.
here bringing positivity to the masses. Again, no disrespect against Justin Robleski, no disrespect against Emmett Sheehan, but this is not Blake Snell. This is not, I think Dodgers Andrew brought up a really good point, right? We beat Ben Kasparius. I think that's supposed to be Robleski. Noah Davis and Will Klein. But, again, like this is good for these guys continuing to get big league experience, getting these moments, pitching in these situations. But if, in fact, we do meet the Astros again, we're going to have better pitching, right? You're hoping that you have the Blake Snells of the world, the Tyler Glasnows of the world, Yamamoto going up against, Kershaw going up against, those types of things. So while being swept at home by the Astros for the first time since 2008 isn't great, I'm not freaking out about this.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not ideal. You really would prefer to not get swept by the Astros. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth because of all of the reasons and all of the things. But Dodgers are banged up. Straight up, they're very banged up. You knew about pitching. We know pitching is an issue. You don't have Snell, like you said. You don't have Glasnow. You don't have maybe every arm you would like to have in the bullpen. Shout out Brusdar Graterol. But you're also in this series missing Max Muncy. Tommy Edman is apparently dealing with a fractured pinky toe, and Teoscar Hernandez dealing with a foot injury after fouling a pitch off of his left foot in the series. So overall, just not a great. It wasn't their A lineup, and that's fine. And Astros fans are having fun with it.
Don't you need your pinky toe to run?
Allegedly, perhaps something like that.
I mean,
I don't know. Do you think I run?
No, but you watch enough baseball to know that you probably need all of the tentacles, the phalanges on your feeties to run. I mean, again, I do you want that? No, because we already have bad blood with the Astros, right? And obviously, and everybody knows by now, it was on Bleacher Report, it was all over the place, that Orel seems to think, like, listen, I don't want to open up old wounds, but in Orel's mind, he felt, I guess, and I don't want to speak for him, but it seemed like he felt like the Astros knew what was coming, whether that was the case or not, or maybe we just had really bad pitching performances.
Well, on that Bulldog quote, listen, he was having some fun. He very immediately afterwards said, this is probably stronger likelihood that Ben Kasparius is tipping his pitches, because if you watch the way that the Stros were getting hits off on Kasparius, and I hope nobody was watching that game in general, just a god-awful game to be a part of. We don't even need to ask DJ Severe when he joins us in just a second, the experience of watching one of the worst losses at Dodger Stadium history and all that kind of stuff. But Kasparius has been struggling a good bit in his over the last month. And he's moving back to the bullpen. Didn't have his best stuff, but thankfully, help is on the way. And I want to take some positives from the series. Shohei Ohtani looked good in his 2 innings. Yeah. He has been great.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, 31-year-old Shohei Ohtani. 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, 31 pitches, making his 4th appearance, 4th start, open, whatever you want to call it. Ha-Seong Kim, how about this kid, by the way, at second base? Obviously, I don't have the video here, but he made a couple of dazzling plays at second base, and maybe, if there's a silver lining to the Max Muncy injury, it's opportunity for Ha-Seong Kim, and he looks phenomenal at second base. Something we knew. He's a Gold Glove caliber second baseman. He was in Korea, and he is here. And how about Mookie Betts coming around a little bit? 5 hits in that series, 4-game hitting streak, hitting .375 with an OPS near 1,200. So there were some positives. Positives don't mean you didn't get swept by the Astros, though.
No, I agree with you. And again, like that, it's embarrassing. It's not only embarrassing that you get swept, it's even more embarrassing that you get swept at home. I mean, that's not, and everyone is going to be like, oh, maybe this is a benchmark series, or, a series that you circle on your calendar just because of everything that happened in 2017. But, again, this is an opportunity. I know it's not the try hard league. I get that. And Clint Hurdle used to say that all the time. But this is an opportunity for these guys to, continue to work on their craft. And again, the Dodgers are still in first place. I mean, if we were, if we didn't have a 7-game lead in the division, I would think it would be a little bit more problematic. But you still have an opportunity and enough space in the division to be able to kind of hit these types of lulls or hit these types of, these adversity, be able to get your way through it. But yeah, I mean, Ha-Seong Kim was a highlight reel defensively. We knew that going into the season that he was good defensively. It was more about the bat. That's why they started him in AAA, and he finally got the call up. I'm more pissed, I think, that Andy Pajes didn't make the frickin' All-Star game. I understand it's hard in the outfield, but whatever. Remember when I wanted to send him to the moon? I don't want to send him to the moon.
We don't need to talk about that.
But again, let's talk about before we welcome in DJ Severe, who's the unbelievable DJ for the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. I love him so much. But there's help on the way, right? Tyler Glasnow's coming back, starting for the team on Wednesday. I mean, that's a big deal.
That is a massive deal. Tyler Glasnow is going to throw a baseball for the major league version of the Los Angeles Dodgers. That is fun. That is an adult in the starting rotation. That puts guys back where they belong. Ben Kasparius is able to go back into the bullpen where they need some help. Let's be honest. They could use an arm, another right-handed arm at the back end of the bullpen. Everybody just kind of settles into a good role. A couple of moves look like they're being made today as well. Dodgers calling up right-handed flamethrower Julian Fernandez. He'll be making his Dodgers debut. Did pitch for the Rockies back in 2021. Don't look at those numbers. Not very good. Also, breaking. I got a button for this. I'm going to push it right here because we got breaking news as well. This is incredible news. James Outman is with the Dodgers. This is from Jack Harris just a couple minutes ago. With the Dodgers at I guess they don't call it Miller Park.
Milwaukee.
Anymore. Yeah, whatever
it's American
it is called.
Family Field. American Family Field.
Miller Park. Call it Miller Park. But that could mean an Edman to the IL move, could mean a Teoscar Hernandez to the IL move, or could mean maybe they're a little bit out on Esteury Ruiz, who has had a little bit of an opportunity but was a panic call up after the Muncy injury. But beyond that, Snell, Trinan, they are getting closer to coming back and helping this team. So All-Star break needs to get here already, man.
No doubt. And we're there. I mean, we're a week away. So
a week away.
You and I are having the wrap-up show for the first half of the season on Sunday, and we're doing Dodgers post-game on Sunday too.
Busy.
But yeah, we need a break. This team definitely needs a blow. Except those guys, obviously going to the All-Star game, but it's not like you're having to play in an actual real game. All right, back in a moment from after a quick word from our friends over at Foul Territory.
It's Monday, and Monday after a long holiday weekend. So what did we do all weekend? We watched fireworks, had some hot dogs, and watched one of the top major sporting events still in season. In the middle of the season, baseball, baby, around the halfway point. Perfect time to check in on some MLB power rankings. Which teams are sitting pretty? Which teams need a little bit of help? Jim Bowden and Matt Snyder joining us now on HQ. So when you look at the top teams, Matt, you got three teams that can make legitimate claims as they are the best in baseball. You got the Dodgers, you got the Tigers, and you got the Astros. But looking at your latest rankings, you put Houston as your number one. Why is that?
Okay. So the Dodgers are probably the most talented team, and we already know that. We've known that since the start of the year. The Tigers have the best record. They've had the best record a lot of times here, but the Astros right now are right with them, and they've won 19 of their last 24. They just swept the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium, and Hunter Brown didn't even pitch. They've taken 2 of 3 from the Cubs, 2 of 3 from the Tigers. They swept the Phillies. So I'm just looking at this and saying, Jeremy Pena is going to be back in not too long. Yordan Alvarez will eventually be back. They've got starters like Spencer Arrighetti, Christian Javier, Luis Garcia all on the comeback trail. Cam Smith and Jake Myers have shown enormous growth at the big league level this season. Isaac Paredes right now hitting leadoff. How about that? Jose Altuve, the transition to left field has gone swimmingly. I just think they look the best right now. And so that's where I am. I don't think they're going to end up number one, but they went into Dodger Stadium and swept the Dodgers and crushed them pretty well in 3 games. So I'm going to go with the Astros right now.
Yeah, no problem with doing that. I mean, look, they're 20 games over 500. Jenny, how does that happen? You trade Kyle Tucker because you can't afford to extend him. You lose Alex Bregman in free agency. You don't have Yordan Alvarez, your best hitter, because he has a hand fracture. You don't have Jeremy Pena because he's got a fractured rib, and he was your best player all year. You don't have any of those 4, and you're 20 games over 500. Are you frigging kidding me? Like, this has been such an amazing story, and the pivot by GM Dana Brown was amazing. Isaac Paredes has 18 homers and 48 RBIs. Christian Walker, 12 homers, 45 RBIs. You can't make this up. He has done such a great job. And then when you look at this team and you ask yourself, can they do damage in October? Could they beat the Dodgers if they faced them in a World Series? And the answer is yes. And it's yes because they have two aces. Hunter Brown is in the race with Tarek Skubal for Cy Young. He's 9-3 with a 1.82 ERA. Framber Valdez has 10 wins and an ERA under 3. That's how good they are. And oh, by the way, Josh Hader is 25 for 25 in save opportunities. Yes, they are built for 162 games. Yes, they are built for a short season. And yes, Matt got it right by putting them first this week.
You say, how are they getting it done? I think if we could all figure that out, all of our teams would be a lot better. They're doing something right. Last week, Matt, you noted that the Blue Jays had an